The Speaking with Confidence podcast turns 2 in February, so one special listener will get a present. I'm excited to announce a special opportunity. I'm giving away one free 3-hour one-on-one coaching package that focuses on communication and leadership skills. To enter, simply listen to the Speaking with Confidence podcast and leave a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Then, take a screenshot of your review and share it on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. And don't forget to tag me. You have to tag me to be entered. You can earn additional entries by purchasing my new book, Connections Account, and leaving a review on Amazon and posting that as well. Again, don't forget to tag me. The contest closes on February 16th, 2026, so don't wait to take action. Implementing the insights from these podcasts can elevate your career, and who knows, you might just win that coaching package to help you further. Now, on to the show. Welcome back to Speaking with Confidence, the podcast that helps you build the soft skills that lead to real results. Communication, storytelling, public speaking, and showing up with confidence in every conversation that counts. I'm Tim Newman, a recovering college professor turned communication coach, and I'm thrilled to guide you on a journey to becoming a powerful communicator. You know that feeling when someone asks you for a favor and your brain immediately screams no, but your mouth says yes anyway? That's a universal Gen Z struggle right now, wanting to be that helpful person versus desperately needing to protect your time and energy. I've been there. For years, I had this identity as the helper. And truthfully, I still struggle with it. If you needed something, I was your guy. But that identity made saying no feel like a complete betrayal of who I was supposed to be. The cost of that automatic yes? Burnout, resentment, and ironically, becoming less reliable because I was stretched so thin. Here's the counterintuitive truth that nobody really tells you. Saying no correctly doesn't damage your relationships. It actually builds trust and influence. What if you could decline requests and have people respect you more for it? That's exactly what we're going to cover today. How to set boundaries without being a jerk about it. So why is saying no so daggum hard? It's not just in your head. It's literally in your brain. When you consider saying no, your amygdala treats it like a social threat. This tiny part of your brain releases cortisol and adrenaline. It's basically putting your body into fight or flight mode over simple refusal. Your brain is wired to treat no as dangerous because throughout human evolution, social rejection could mean actual physical danger. The good news? Neuroplasticity means you can actually rewire this response through practice. This fear leads to 2 common failure modes. First is the ghost. You just avoid the person entirely, hoping the problem disappears. And second is the jerk. You come across as aggressive and blunt because you're so uncomfortable. Both approaches destroy your credibility. Ghosting shows a lack of courage, while being a jerk shows a lack of care. Then there's the spotlight effect. Cognitive biases amplify our fears of judgment, making us think everyone will notice and care about our refusal. But research shows we consistently overestimate how negatively people will react when we say no. The actual risk is much lower than our anxious brain tells us it is. And this brings us to the core principle you need to internalize. You're not rejecting the person, you're protecting the partnership. When you say no strategically, you're actually investing in the long-term health of that relationship. So how do we actually do this without ghosting or being a jerk? I call it the value anchor method. It's a 3-part structure that works for any refusal scenario. This isn't just my opinion. It's backed by research. A 2023 study found that having a refusal script like "I would rather not" made people feel more significantly empowered to say no confidently. The first part is validate the ask. This is where you acknowledge the importance of the request and the person's intent. You're showing that you've heard them and you understand why this matters. It's not about agreeing, it's about demonstrating respect. Part 2 is articulate your boundary. Here's where you clearly state your capacity of priority conflict without over-explaining or apologizing excessively. You're not making excuses, you're stating the fact about your current situation. And this is where most people stumble because they feel they need to justify every detail. The third part is propose a path forward. This is what separates a strategic no from a simple rejection. You offer an alternative that keeps the door open for future collaboration. Maybe suggesting a different timeline, a different approach, or connecting with them with someone who can actually help them right now. So why does this framework work so well? Because it demonstrates strategic thinking rather than simple rejection. When you use all three parts, you're showing that you've considered the request carefully and you're making a decision based on your current priorities and capacity. You're not just being difficult, you're being professional. The beauty of this method is that it's scalable. You can use the same three-part structure whether you're talking to your boss, a coworker, or a friend. And the tone might shift slightly, but the underlying framework remains solid. It gives you a reliable template so you're not scrambling for words in that moment. Think of it as building a muscle. The first few times might feel awkward, but with practice, it becomes second nature. And each time you use it successfully, you're reinforcing those new neural pathways we talked about earlier, teaching your brain that saying no isn't a threat, it's a skill. This framework transforms no from a wall into a gate. You're not shutting people out, you're managing the flow based on what's sustainable for you. And that's how you build relationships where people trust your yes because they know your no means something. So let's apply this to the most intimidating scenario, saying no to your boss. Picture this. It's Friday afternoon, you're wrapping up your priority project, and your manager asks you to take on a last-minute task that would require working through the weekend. Here's how the value anchor method works in practice. First, validate the ask. I understand this client report is urgent and needs to get done before Monday. You're acknowledging the importance without committing. Second, articulate your boundary. I'm currently focused on finishing the quarterly analysis that's due first thing Monday morning, and taking this on would compromise the quality of both projects. So notice there's no apology here, just a clear statement of your current priorities. Third, propose a path forward. Could we revisit this on Monday afternoon once my current deliverable is complete? Alternatively, if it needs immediate attention, would it make sense to bring in Sarah from the marketing team who has experience with these types of reports? What your boss actually hears when you use this approach is, this person understands their workload and manages it professionally. You're demonstrating strategic thinking about resource allocation rather than just being difficult. And there's a hidden benefit here. You're actually training your manager on how to best utilize your strengths. When you consistently communicate your boundaries and priorities clearly, they learn to come to you with requests that align with your capacity and expertise. Now, before we move forward, let's address some common pitfalls to avoid. Don't apologize excessively. I'm so sorry, but undermines your position. Another one? Don't make false promises about future availability if you can't keep them. The goal is to be direct but respectful, which is exactly what a level 3 directness looks like in practice, where level 1 is ghosting, level 5 is jerk. We're looking for level 3. Now, let's talk about the peer dynamic, which has its own unique challenges. When a coworker asks you to take on one of their tasks, the risk is seeming uncooperative or selfish within the team. So here's how the value anchor adapts for a teammate. You validate. I see that you're swamped with a client presentation and could use some help getting this data analysis done. You articulate your boundary. I've got my hands full with preparing for the team meeting tomorrow morning, and I want to make sure I give both tasks the attention that they deserve. And then you propose a path forward. Why don't we check in after the morning meeting? I should have more bandwidth then. In the meantime, have you tried the new automated reporting tool? It might cut your analysis time in half. The key here is emphasizing team success over individual convenience. You're showing that you care about the overall outcome, not just your own workload. A well-delivered no actually improves team communication because it forces clarity about roles and responsibilities. And this approach builds your reputation as someone who is focused, not difficult. Your coworkers will learn that when you say yes, you mean it, and when you say no, it's for legitimate reasons that serve the team's best interests. It's the long game play for building professional credibility where people trust your judgment because they know you're not just avoiding work. Now, let's tackle the social side, and this may be the toughest one of all. Say no to a friend without coming off as a flake or a buzzkill. Picture this. Your friend hits you up last minute to go out on a Tuesday night, but you're exhausted from work and have an early start tomorrow. Here's how the value anchor keeps it real. You validate the ask. Hey, I love that you thought of me for this. It sounds like a blast. You're showing appreciation for the invite. Then you articulate your boundary. But I'm totally wiped from today and need to crash early to be functional tomorrow. No over-explaining, just stating your current energy levels honestly. Then you propose a path forward. Can we rain check for Friday? I'll be way more fun and actually present instead of just zoning out. You're offering a specific alternative that works for you. Why this doesn't kill the vibe? Friendships thrive on authenticity, not obligation. When you're transparent about your limits, you build trust that your yeses are genuine. It shows you value the quality of time together over just showing up. Plus, it prevents the slow burn of resentment that comes from forcing yourself to be social when you're not feeling it. So here's your takeaway. A strategic no isn't a rejection. It's an investment in your credibility. The value anchor method gives you a reliable framework to decline requests while actually strengthening your relationships. Your implementation challenge starts today. Identify one request you've been avoiding. Maybe that group project you don't have capacity for, or that social invite you're dreading. Apply the 3-part framework. Validate the ask, articulate your boundary, and propose a path forward. The mindset shift here is crucial. Stop seeing boundaries as walls that keep people out and start seeing them as the foundations that make strong partnerships possible. Your ability to set clear limits ultimately defines how others perceive your professional value and personal integrity. If you want to dive deeper into setting boundaries and saying no with confidence, I highly recommend you watching my video, The Art of Saying No, How to Set Boundaries Without the Guilt, with Suzanne Kohlberg. She's the note coach. For a comprehensive approach to building assertive communication skills, my Formula for Public Speaking course provides step-by-step guidance to help you navigate any conversation with clarity. Make sure you subscribe for more practical frameworks that protect your well-being while strengthening your influence. That's all for today. Remember, we're looking for progress, not perfection. Be sure to visit speakingwithconfidencepodcast.com to get your free ebook, The Top 21 Challenges for Public Speakers and How to Overcome Them. You can also register for the Formula for Public Speaking course. Always remember, your voice has the power to change the world. We'll talk to you next time. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show. And don't forget to enter the contest. Remember, I'm giving away one free 3-hour one-on-one coaching package that focuses on communication and leadership skills. All you have to do to enter is listen to the Speaking with Confidence podcast and leave a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Then take a screenshot of your review and share it on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. And remember, don't forget to tag me. You're not entered unless you tag me. And you can earn additional entries by purchasing my new book, Connections That Count, and leaving a review on Amazon and posting that as well. Remember, the contest closes on February 16th, 2026, so don't wait to take action. Implementing the insights from these podcasts can elevate your career, and who knows, you might just win that coaching package to help you even further. We'll talk to you next time. Take care.